Hi everybody, welcome to January 20th to January 26th of 2020. We're going to be pulling general messages for all the signs, but we're going to front load with astrology like I did last time. I'm going to timestamp below in the description box. If you're not interested in this part, I'm going to go through a couple of transits that are happening in the sky, and then I'm going to pull a couple of astrology tarot cards, the Black Moon Tarot, for the general messages, and then I'm going to get into each of the signs. Okay, so starting on the 20th, we have the sun entering Aquarius, guys, at 9:54 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just apply that time to wherever you are on the planet. So the sun's going to be in Aquarius from the 20th of January to the 18th of February. And during this cycle, we're going to be especially motivated by a hunger for knowledge. Knowledge, experience, originality, something different, innovation, doing things outside of the box, that box that we normally function in. It's just more important to us than doing things as we have been, or maybe how we should be, because it is Aquarius. It's really out of the box, right? We are becoming more aware in this energy of what's outdated in our lives, and we'll be pushing to find new perspectives and new approaches to ways of doing things. To just structure, think about the structure that we've been feeling, right? Under Capricorn, right? It's been like very structure. There are like class distinctions. There's a sense of order that Capricorn finds really appealing, and that we really needed, right, to get this ball rolling, but now seems to be a bit too rigid to all of us. So the freedom of self and the individual is becoming really more important to all of us right now. And we're all feeling it in different areas. I did mention the houses that we're all going to be, and I've mentioned the houses in a couple of videos now at this point, that we're all going to be working through this year. So think about what I'm saying in relation to whatever house it is, right? So if you're Cancer, everything that I'm saying, you're going to be thinking about how to do relationships differently. If you're Virgo in your fifth house, you're going to be thinking about your hobbies and things that you do for fun differently. And you're going to be looking at your relationship with your children differently, right? It depends on, where this is placed. Okay. And I'm just going to keep talking about it probably for the rest of the year. So, but it's really about us striving to free ourselves from some restrictions and inhibitions and limitations that just feel really, really constraining rather than safe. Because for a minute it felt safe, but now it's not safe anymore, And then on the 24th, we have the new moon. New moon in Aquarius, 4:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the new moon in Aquarius marks the beginning of a new cycle for sure. The Capricorn new moon cycle ends, and this new moon cycle begins. And in Aquarius, it's friendship, group activities, socials pursuit, any sort of group gatherings, projects, trying something new, joining a new group, any sort of humanitarian effort actually even falls under this, but all of these things are going to be more of a focus than they have been. So there are new beginnings regarding any of these areas, right? Just really getting out there and getting involved in stuff. And this is a time during which we should solve problems that require thinking outside of the boxes, as I've been talking about. Really look to the future with a brand new positive and hopeful vision. Brainstorm, socialize, just focus on how things are going to be just moving forward, and expressing platonic love for those around us, and giving our emotions and our passions a break as we develop more objectivity and some detachment from past hurts and past haunts, and just connecting with friends, guys. Like seriously, if you don't have friends, then it could be your family, it could be your colleagues, but it's really embracing, friends, family, neighbors, any group activity, anything like that really can be focused on here in such a beautiful way, right? So reaching out to people in your social circle, reaching out to your tribe, and just like recognizing here the value of those friendships and those networks. And also, though, recognize at some level, guys, these people are kind of like your ticket out of, I'm going to call it stage one. I'm going to call January stage one. It's month one, it's stage one of this new shift into this new life, into this new cycle. And I know we've all been feeling it. Oh my gosh, right? It's been big. It's been big. Obviously, depending on where it's hitting you, it's going to be a little more ground shaking than for others, but you definitely want to be looking at your rising sign for this one, guys, for sure. Absolutely. All right. But these friends and family members and our group are going to be helping us to be able to have a sense of detachment from whatever is challenging us to break away from, because there is this breaking away, right, with Saturn and this transformation with Pluto. So we're really going to be needing to rely on our friends, our family, our hobbies, other activities to pivot our thoughts and our attentions to just give us a breather so we can start to heal and move. It's stage one. It's stage one. And with this potent Aquarius energy, we have the chance to make progressive changes in our lives. For some of us, circumstances are such that we need to pay more attention to these matters rather than divert our attention. It does depend on the placement. Now, this phase of the moon is going to be happening at 4 degrees and 22 minutes of Aquarius, affecting people born with personal planets and points at approximately 0 to 8 degrees of the fixed sign. So that would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius most significantly. We're all going to be feeling it, but those 4 signs and those degrees are going to be feeling it really much more profoundly, okay, than anyone else. So let's pull a couple of Black Moon Tarot to get a collective message of what we have as we enter this last part. I'm calling it the last part of phase 1 here. 3rd house, okay. It's about communication, messages. This has to do with Mercury, right? So especially like Gemini and Virgo. Saturn, well, of course. Oh, Saturn, I don't know. Getting a little tired of you now. And it just started. Okay, so we have Saturn and we have 3rd house messages, okay? So the 3rd house messages, again, anything mercurial. So this is how you think, feel, write, communicate, anything like that. This is you needing to look at how you're communicating, assess if you're communicating effectively enough, if you are not being too harsh, if you need to change things up in the way you communicate. Now, the fact that we got the 3rd house with Saturn says that you're going to be getting in touch here in this 3rd house energy with something that's very old and outdated. Saturn does that anyway, but you're going to be getting messages, synchronistic messages coming into your life that's really going to be highlighting what really needs to go, what like literally has become like necrotic. Do you know what I mean? Like dying skin. I hate to say it like that, but it's kind of like that in a way. It takes a long time to happen, but when it happens, it just starts to like fall off, right? So this is what's really happening here. And Saturn with the truth, I mean, this says it might feel bad now, but it's going to be resolved. Saturn's the planet, it's the planet of the Reaper, the Lord of Karma. And this, it's a rainbow planet, represents what's tangible and solid in our lives. The Greeks called Saturn Kronos. So a lot of you guys might have heard Kronos and Saturn being used interchangeably. So we could thank the Greeks for that. And Kronos was the father of Zeus. And Kronos devoured his children to prevent losing his throne as the king of the gods. So Saturn in astrology is often referred to as the god who ate his own children. Isn't that lovely, right? Because of the energy of this planet seems to show no mercy. But Saturn is not exactly cruelty. It simply points out what's true and cuts away what's delusional or no longer useful in our life. So, this is definitely a time where you're going to feel challenged. We're all feeling it anyway. This is like, I'm like preaching to the choir here. You guys all know this. But it's time to make it or break it, guys, for real. I mean, the fact that this came up is important. Life may seem harsh and very restrictive right now. The truth of the matter is you're facing an enemy who may be yourself right now. And Saturn shows us that at times it's in our better interest, not to have those things we want. And that if we were to have them, it could only ultimately lead to our destruction. And that really is so true. So if this is a time for any of you where you're feeling sad, or if you're feeling hopeless, realize that it's all about the diligence and sticking to what you believe in, adhering to your goals, to what you know is right. As this is a period in your life that emphasizing toughness and work is really important. It's all about not giving up and following through, and there's so much goodness on the other side of this. So much good. So we're going to be looking at stuff that's got to go. Yep, that's what we have, and that is the astrology section, guys. Let's pull some cards. Hi, Aquarius. Thanks so much for hanging with me. Let's get right into pulling messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for January 20th to the 26th of 2020. So let's pull a Wisdom of the Oracle crowning energy for you guys. Let's see what kind of advice we have from Spirit for you guys for this week. Hopefully we get something good. And Observer. Nice. So this is really trying to look at things from a very neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life where it's a good time for you to begin to really explore things that you've been feeling up to this point in a very neutral way. It's a great time for you to get some distance from what you're doing and see your work and your projects from a different perspective. The trick here is to connect to the essence of your goals and your aspirations while letting the form and timing of everything be dictated by Spirit. As you may be too personally attached to an outcome and possibly having a really hard time seeing the miracle because it's not turning out exactly as you planned. So you really need to trust here. You really need to trust, because the perfect version of whatever is right for you is right in front of you, but you just need to stay neutral and curious. And I know that's really difficult, okay, to do, but this is what this energy means, to just kind of let things roll out and be very neutral, right? And think about the different ways that you've been considering things. Now, those of you in the space of relationship, this is one of those energies where it's like you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Like feelings get all jumbled up, and you often hear one thing when the person says another, and it could be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. So you want to take some time out before you react, because it's likely the other person doesn't even realize that their words are affecting you. So just take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection, and just trust that you guys are going to be able to come together and figure it out. But this is about taking the higher ground now in relationships, and just cultivating the curiosity about what you observe in yourself and in others, and kind of like the landscape of your life, because you're going to find things are going to be improving much sooner than you realize. But taking a very kind of like, objective, neutral look, pulling back. And for those of you who have somebody in your life that you really, really trust, you could talk to somebody who you really trust about how you're perceiving things. Why not? That's always good. So let's pull a Celtic cross spread. And then we're going to follow this with a love reading, a little more of a substantial love reading than I've been doing, because a lot of you guys have been expressing a longer love section. So we'll do it with oracles and qualifiers after we pull your Celtic cross spread. But these are going to be general messages, guys, for relationship, career, family, friendships, okay? So let's pull all the cards, and then we'll talk. Okay. Okay. All right. So we have, as the foundation right now, we have the King of Fire reverse. So this is the King of Wands. And in the reverse, this indicates a lack of connection, possible manipulation. Okay, can be indicated here. This is a Cancer and Leo energy, so it's like, in the reverse, there's love here and there's passion, but it's in the reverse, so it's not being shown right now. So if this is connecting to you with relationships, you can feel cut off from your partner right now. Some of you, even if you're together, you know what I mean, where you just don't feel very connected. Some of you might be not in communication. Some of you might be dealing with an energy where you feel like you're being manipulated, but or somebody has lost the passion, either you lost the passion for someone or they lost their passion for you. But this is definitely an energy at play here if it connects to you regarding relationships. Now, if it has to do with a job, this is straight up telling me that you just don't feel connected and passionate to what it is that you're doing right now, whatever it is that you're doing. You're really thinking about getting into something else, changing career paths. There's some sort of change in your path here because what you're in right now is really not speaking to you in such a great way. You know, it's just really not. And then we have the 4 of fire, but it was like this, right? So it was reversed. So we have to look at it as that. And this is the 4 of wands, which is all about it's engagement, right? It's marriage. It's a Jupiter in Libra. I mean, this is about having this happiness and expansion through fairness and connection, right? So if this has to do with a job, a career, this is you just feeling like you're not going to have a strong foundation if you stay on this path that you're on right now. For those of you who are dealing with this having to do with relationship, you feel like that is just not happening. There's a delay in this happening if it's ever to happen, right? Because the wands are will, and in the reverse, it's delay. And it's a delay because there's something lacking. There's something in the way. There's definitely something in the way of this being able to happen. So we have transformation in the reverse. So this is crowning. So the transformation that's necessary for this situation to happen is being stalled. Fate is being argued with here. Because transformation in the upright is fate mixed with serendipity. So it's things coming across your path that you're recognizing that you really need to pay attention to and you really need to work with. Right? So in the reverse, this is telling me that you're not doing that. That the transformation of either this career or this relationship is just not happening. And having these 2 fire energies, pentacles, in the reverse like this, I get that there's a lot of delay right now regarding something being transformed. So there's a delay. Is there a delay because there's a lack of passion, or is there a delay because of some other external reason? It's going to be something different for all of you. But as the foundation here, we do have the 7 of earth. And the 7 of earth is the 7 of pentacles. And this is a Saturn and Taurus energy, all right? So just think about that. Saturn, we've been talking a lot about Saturn, but in a good way. This is a really positive card. Saturn making us work really, really hard. Taurus is all about, pentacles and money and mental, physical, emotional connection, but having things in the 3D tangible. And this is about starting a new cycle and being able to make those things happen and having the gumption and the desire to really work something from the ground up. Okay? And this is the foundation here. So there is this willingness here with the 7 of earth. So I feel like, if this has to do with a job, it's like you have the willingness to put in the work. You have the willingness to even start over in something else. You have the willingness to start over in a relationship. If you're resonating with this as a relationship, to go and move forward and work hard. This is all about hard work though. This is no gift on a platter energy, right? This is, you need to be willing to put the hard work in order to gain the benefic outcome of this energy. But we have this holding back, and then we have this desire, holding back, desire, okay? The 8 of air, this is the 8 of swords, and this is in your past. This is in your recent past, okay? So this is a Jupiter and Gemini energy. So think about what that means. Jupiter is all about luck and expansion, and Gemini is all about, it's the messenger, right? It's all about communication. So first of all, some of you may have been dealing, may have been dealing with a Gemini, but this is the thing. It's you working through this communication in your own mind to a point where you become very obsessed in your thoughts and you become sort of imprisoned in your own mind by cyclical thinking. Okay, so there was some sort of messages that were coming in that were, in a way, you knew intuitively that the conversation had to happen in order for there to be expansion and growth in something. Okay, but you are in this space of ruminating, being very indecisive, right? Because Gemini, while it is about communication, it also is about twin A and twin B, and it could create this absolute sense of confusion where one part of you feels one way and the other part of you feels another way, but you're ruminating about this communication and this conversation. But you're trying to reason things through and figure out what's best for you that's going to bring you that Jupiter vibe. You know what I mean? So that's in your past, though. Right now, you're in the 5 of Earth energy. This is the 5 of Pentacles. This is Mercury and Taurus, okay? So Taurus is all about Earth, right? Earth energies. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Mercury is all about communication. So this is about a communication in the heart space and you sitting there but feeling the sense of lack. You're feeling a sense of lack. You're not feeling like you have what you need. But this is a very mental energy. It's Mercury. It's very mental. In your mind, you're feeling this sense of lack because either you feel left out of something, you feel like somebody's leaving you out of something to do with actual money, or some sort of mental, physical, or emotional connection. And that's right now, I'm getting that you're feeling that. And the external influence that's making you feel this way is the Emperor reverse energy. Okay? Now, this is a card where I say this is just, it's not you, Aquarius, because the energy here is external to you, okay? So you're dealing with an Emperor reverse energy, and we know the list of that, right? It's the narcissistic quality energy. Doesn't mean they have narcissistic personality disorder, but any of those dark triad tendencies where there's deflection and there's gaslighting and there's disrespect and there's blaming and there's finger pointing and there's cyclical kind of conversations where you know you're correct and they just won't admit to their stuff and they make it seem like it's all you. And they're trying to turn the tables on you and so forth. So some of you may be dealing with this in an intimate relationship, a friendship, a family connection, or even just your job. And this is a very confusing energy to deal with, like absolutely. But when you're dealing with this energy, the strongest constitutions can be made left to feel like questioning themselves. Because that is the thing when you're dealing with that kind of any of the dark triads. It's tough. It's definitely tough because then you're just left like, oh my God, like you know what it is? It's the kind of connection that's very confusing. You know, those kind of arguments, if you ever had with anybody who struggles with any of these qualities, right? I mean, there are 9 qualities to be considered, but you only need to have 5 in order to have the personality disorder. But if you have 4 or 3, it's still challenging, right? So it's not an uncommon thing to deal with in relationships and connections. It's just simply not. But I feel like that is an external influence to you that's putting you in the space of feeling lack in this connection. And the Empress reverse this is what you're feeling. You're fearing no growth in this situation. So no growth in this job, no growth in this relationship, that this friendship can't continue. And this is your fear. You're afraid of that. Right? And the outcome here is the King of Air reverse, right? So this is another sword energy. This is a Capricorn and Aquarius energy. Okay? So, you guys need to think about this. This is, Capricorn and you. So this is about hard work ruled by Saturn, doing something outside the box, right? Moving it forward, but in the reverse. This tells me that some sort of message is going to come in. Something is going to happen where it's going to make you not want to move forward. This is some sort of truth coming out. This is some sort of lack of connection. Because if swords upright a truth, in the reverse, it's a truth coming out that you're realizing, oh my gosh, this person has really been so messed up, very dishonest, okay? They can't tell the truth if, for anything, right? But it's you feeling in this space. Now, because it's a court card, because it's a king, court cards can always be you or an energy you're dealing with or a situation. So, because the air is truth, right? We could say that either you're in a space where you're lying to yourself, you're dealing with somebody who is not being honest with you or lying to themselves, or a situation just simply not speaking to you anymore. It's not in your truth. So those are the three interpretations of how we can understand the court energies, and I want to give all three because it's going to resonate with each of you differently. But that's certainly what it means. And now in the final outcome, we have the 9 of Earth, which is the 9 of Pentacles, right? The 9 of Pentacles. This is a Venus and Virgo card. This is really nice. Venus is, again, about luck, expansion, love, and expansion within that area, right? And it's an Earth energy. So this is about really being in a beautiful space of wish fulfillment. And you being on the right path of wish fulfillment. But let's get some more energies on that King of Air. As it ends well, so let's figure out what their deal is. Temptation reverse. 6 of Water reverse. 3 of, okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, Aquarius, I think you're dealing with somebody that, the temptation is about recognizing what unhealthy behaviors that we might have a tendency towards veering towards. And when the temptation card is in the upright, we control those temptations, right? So it's our ability to hold our tongue, and it's our ability to be honest, and it's our, but in the reverse, it's not doing those things. So I am getting that there's a connection here between this Emperor reverse energy, this King of Air reverse energy, and this temptation, somebody not resisting temptation to do something quite frankly, disrespectful to you. And then we have the 6 of Water reverse, and this is about really being in a space, Aquarius, of remembering something through rose-colored glasses, but really coming to terms with the fact that whatever it is that you're reflecting on in your past needs to stay in the past, because you would never be able to build with them. This is the 3 of Earth reverse. It's the Architect card. It's the card of building. It's the card of coming together and building. And this in reverse, it's not happening. I mean, this is a Mars in Capricorn not happening. This is like about boom, work. Let's make this happen. What do we need to do? Da da da. And we're never going to be in the space with this job. You were never going to be in that space with this person. It just wasn't going to happen. But you're ending up in the 9 of Earth here, the 9 of Pentacles. So I really love that. I mean, that's beautiful. Venus in Virgo. Love Venus in Virgo. So beautiful. Because it's about communication. And all of the communication and the love is what ends up bringing that wish fulfillment in the 3D. You follow? So that's really nice. Let's get some 2 of Cups, Page of Fire, new start. Yeah, I mean, this is beautiful. This is you realizing that you weren't going to have the connection or what you wanted in another space. So you started something new that really spoke to you, something very passionate, or you are starting something because this is in your future, and it's going to bring you into a 10 of Cups energy. Very beautiful. Really, really nice. Nice. Okay, I mean, that's what I have here. So let's see. Let's pull for love. Let's pull for love. And however the love comes out, it might come out for those of you happily involved, those of you in a weird space. We never know until we get there. Okay, let's pull Whispers of Love. And then we'll pull some of the Heart Oracles and Island Time Wellness, and we'll pull some qualifiers. Okay, let's see what we get. Treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply. So listen, Aquarius, I mean, having to do with, you know, if you were resonating with the Celtic cross spread regarding a relationship, that person who is the Emperor energy, because, and I want to say this just because it's a general message, so it's going to resonate with everybody differently. If that is a really negative energy and they are like narcissists, you know, keep them in the past. Absolutely. But if it's the kind of situation where it rolled out as we discussed, that new beginning can be with them, but you guys are going to definitely have to have it out first, because that Page of Cups reverse energy is about being in a space where somebody just didn't do the right thing, you know. And I feel bad to say that, but I want to. I mean, that normally does mean you feeling disrespected some way, or often does indicate infidelity in one way or another, some sort of betrayal. You know, if you're resonating with it like that. Okay. But, you know, if they didn't cheat on you and they didn't do you so dirty and you want to have a reconnection, regardless, Aquarius, you're having a new passionate connection with somebody where you're going to end up with the Page of, the 10 of Cups. So let's see. Let's pull all the oracles. So that first one is manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. And the next one is give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. And here, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. So that's all about, you know what? If you made some bad choices in the past, forgive yourself. Just forgive yourself. Holding on and beating yourself up, that's not going to do anything. Really. Okay. Healing heart. Healing from heartbreak. Freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. I think there's a lot of synchronicity here with the Celtic cross spread if you were looking at that as far as relationship goes, guys, to be honest. Right? Healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. Heart with a key, welcoming love. Meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, perfect. Aquarius, you're meeting somebody new. Whoever's resonating with this. Sunglasses, watching, looking, stalking, focusing out, gaslighting, perception. So somebody from the past might still be, hitting you up, wanting something from you, but somebody's looking at you, somebody's stalking you, but I'm getting here that you're healing from something that was not good for you, and you're welcoming new love. You're opening your heart. Oh, that's beautiful. Meeting the one, heart the key. Yes. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires, which is not to be disrespected, I'm pretty sure. Chariot reverse. These always, the sub cards here always give us the story here. Chariot reverse. Somebody went off the rails making some very bad decisions. It's Cancer energy, and Cancer is all about home and love. And this has to do with somebody going off the rails away from what they should have been, their home space. You know what I mean? So, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you just hit this space where you were the Queen of Pentacles. You saw right through everything. You understood everything that was necessary to have in the home space. This is a Sagittarius and Capricorn energy, right? The Queen of Pentacles. So when we're talking about Sagittarius, it's all about our belief systems. It's our religion. It's how we view our moral code and our moral compass. And Capricorn is all about hard work, ruled by Saturn. So this is you front and center, getting in touch with your moral code, your moral compass, and holding that really tight in recognition of somebody not treating you the way you should be treated. And this is you, honestly, moving away, but having a very hard time with it, Aquarius, because here in the reverse, it does indicate to me that you're still holding on to something from this connection, even though you know that the sun is not going to happen with this person, or it can't right now. So, I mean, if you're dealing with a very toxic energy here, some sort of like come to Jesus moments are going to have to happen before this can actually work, because I see you guys meeting somebody new. But this is one thing, you know what, I need to pull that 8 of Cups. It's like, you know where you're leaving is not good for you, and you accept it, and you're moving on. But in the reverse, it's like it's you holding on to something and having a really hard time letting go of something. Yeah, I mean, we have the 10 of Swords, you know. It's the end of a cycle. You were stabbed in the back, but you have residual feelings. And you know what? Okay. You're going to have to work through that, because you have somebody absolutely fabulous coming in. Beautiful. Meeting the one. So, yeah. That's what I have, Aquarius. That's what I have for the love section. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.